The webinar is now live. Hello, Rabbi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Now,
Okay,
every morning, and not most mornings, not 90% of the mornings, but every morning before I do my morning prayers, and every evening I do my morning, every evening I do morning prayers, and every morning I do morning prayers. And it's about a half an hour, 40 minutes. And then at night, I do my bed prayers. And those take only about 10, 15 minutes at most. But every morning, before I do my morning prayers, this is really important because this is what I promised I would share with Mary and others, how to do this. Jewish people, sometimes we say, but how come the Jewish people get their prayers really answered? Jewish people get our prayers answered very, very quickly because we have learned how, this is important, because we have learned how to increase our vibrational level and to maintain our vibrational level with the angels. So there are many kind of angels. There are accusers, there are prosecutors, there are teachers, there are many, many assistants to God. There are helpers, but most of the angels are messengers. And that's why in Hebrew, an angel is called a messenger. He's not called, there's no word for angel. There is, but it's messenger.
And what is it?
Malach, sorry, I didn't tell you what it is. It's called malach in Hebrew. Thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome.
It's called malach in Hebrew. Now, you know, and I know, that on the fourth day of creation in your Bible and in our Bible, in the Jewish Bible and the Christian Bible, same thing, same words. On the fourth day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. Then why in the heck does it say on the first day, God created light and said, let there be light? What the, how could that be? He already created light in the future, in the fourth day. So why does he say he creates light again, or not again, but he creates light on the first day? And he calls the light or, and everyone who knows Hebrew knows that or does mean light. We think about this. And we come to the conclusion that it must be another kind of light. And when we read the commentaries, we see that God creates angels on the first day. And he calls, and there is another name for angels, energetic light, or in Hebrew, because you're going to ask me the Hebrew, or ganuz. Well, that's a strange thing. And he calls them or ganuz, or energetic light, because he fills angels with, what are we filled with? We are filled with blood, limbs, organs, tissues. What else?
Cells.
What?
Cells.
Cells. And most importantly, we are filled with cells. Yeah.
And muscles.
I can't hear it.
Muscles.
Muscles. Yep.
I thought she said tacos.
Hey, you know what? I wish we were. I wouldn't have to go to the restaurant next door for my lunch. But we're filled with cells, and cells are so important that the angels that were created on the fourth day, these angels that are named organus, or, remember, or is light. It's called the hidden light. God didn't want us to know how to use this hidden light. But God called the angels hidden light because their vibration, the vibration of angels, was far superior to the vibration of ordinary humankind. Far, far superior, not even minimally superior, far superior. Angels boasted of this. Humankind was dejected of this. So God said to humankind, which, by the way, was connected with the feminine presence of God. The feminine presence of God is in all of us, in humankind. The masculine presence of God is transcendent, is not immanent, not within us, it is without us, the masculine presence of God. And so the angels are a little perturbed at this. Now, man, because the feminine aspect of God wanted to show the angels that they could do things as fast as you can, because we have rate of vibration that is as fast and as powerful as the angels. And it was true. And that's why every morning, before I do my prayers, I increase my rate of vibration so that when I do my prayers, whoa, are they fast? But I listen to every word clearly. Now, the rate of vibration, but how do you do this, Rabbi? How do you make your rate of vibration so fast? The rate of vibration of human beings is based on our soul. Our soul has 10 parts to it. In other religions, they're called chakras. Each chakra has its own soul. But in our religion, they're called sephiros. Sephiros. And we have 10 sephiros in our soul, and every one of those sephiros has rates of vibration of the cells around it. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of cells around each one of the spheros. There are 10 spheros. One is here, one is here, 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 and here, and here. And these are the 6 main spheros. And when you are able to recognize a huge speed of vibration in the first 6 spheros, these are called the most important. Even the Orthodox Jews call it a chakra experience based on the Buddha teaching that the first 6 chakras are called a Buddha experience because the rate of what they call it,
Vibration.
the rate of vibration is very, very fast. Now, if you can do rate of vibration as fast as the Jews, you could do your prayers and you can get your prayers answered by your God quickly. First thing you do is, I'm teaching you now how to increase big time your rate of vibration. Number one, spherot, is right here. It's the crown of your head. First thing you do is touch it. If you don't feel a strong rate of vibration, you know you're not at the rate of vibration. Let me say, you're not doing it right, but let me say you're still doing it right. It takes about 10 times, maybe even 12 times to really feel an accurate rate of vibration. So when you touch it for the first time, you're not really getting it. But we teach fake it till you make it. Do it 1 time, 2 times, 4 times, 5 times, 7 times, 9 times. Whoa! By the 10th time, you get it. Now, not in a row, not the same day, but on different days, 10 times, 10 different days. So first thing you do, touch it here. Then look, try to look at, you could see, look yourself in a mirror and see if there's a light over it. Visualize the light. If there's no strong light, it's not working very well. And so you figure something is wrong here. My rate of vibration and my light are not working in the best possible way. Correct, Peggy?
Correct.
Then what do we? Then you say that verse from, and this is just one way. There are 49 different ways. Okay, so I'm just giving you one way. I can't teach you all 49 in one day, but I will teach more of them to you, all of them to you if you come privately. But I can't teach you all in one day. It doesn't work. Okay, so the first day, touch, you don't feel, you don't see a light. Psalm 16:8. I activate. Oh, do you have that paper I sent you?
Somewhere.
It's not with you?
Let me at least pull out the Adonai.
I believe Peggy has sent it to everyone.
Peggy sent to everyone. Thank you, sir. What do I do now? They don't have it.
I'm going to show everybody what the Adonai.
Peggy is going to show everybody.
This is what Adonai looks like.
Where? Show me.
Okay, you got it, Peg?
There.
See?
Are you showing them what Adonai looks like?
Yes.
Adonai is the feminine presence of God. And
Right.
every morning, after you, every morning, the first thing you do is look at your first sphirot. That means channel. It is a channel of vibrations. That's why angels want to get there. Because if angels go into the channel of vibrations, they'll be as fast as humans because we're filling ourselves up with vibrations of God. So the first thing you do is take that paper and what do you say, Peggy?
Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid.
Which means what?
I place the feminine presence of God before me always.
And what is the name of the feminine presence?
Adonai or the Shekhinah.
Adonai or the Shekhinah. But let's work with the word Adonai.
Because that's what this is spelled out in Hebrew. Or in
Right.
English shorthand, ADNY.
And the letters in Hebrew, we go from left to right in English, but in Hebrew, we go right to left. So
Yeah,
there's
that's right.
Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. But saying Adonai is good.
Very good. Thank you, Rabbi.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay. And then what happens? After they look, and what if they don't, if they don't see a light and they don't see, and they don't feel vibrations, then they say the magic word. This is important. It's magic. It's filled with souls, every letter. You say the word Adonai. You have to. You look first, you read the word, and then you say the word Adonai, and then you breathe in through your nose, through your nostrils. I have a blocked nose, so don't hold that against me. Okay. You breathe in through your nostrils, and you get Adonai in green characters written on the crown of your head, in right to left. Adonai. Okay, written in Hebrew characters, right to left. And then you see the sentence again. Read it, Peggy.
Shiviti, Adonai, Lenegdi Tamid.
But the only word you have to remember is Adonai. It's the second word. When you say that word twice, what happens?
Then it becomes more fixed.
It becomes, well, yes, you're right, go ahead.
It becomes more affixed to the crown of your head.
And first, the word Adonai, when you breathe in with your nose, it became mildly affixed. But then when you breathe out with your mouth, the word Adonai is in large characters. Do, Nai, and the light is much greater.
And the vibration.
Well, the vibrations are minimally bigger, but not really much. Minimally bigger. Not much bigger. But then, when you breathe out a second time, first you breathe in through your nostrils, and you breathe out through your nose, and that means then you breathe out through your mouth. And when you breathe out through your mouth a second time, light is much bigger, vibrations are much, much stronger. And it becomes a channel for vibrations. And that means it's a channel for the angels. Thousands of angels go into this channel. And that's how we humans can use angels. And they become our partners. Now you go to the second channel, which is right here. Well, different you. This is my right is your left, and your left is my right. So, but let's say this is both of our right. I don't. This confuses me. Yeah, you're right. You're left, but you're right. Okay, it's right here, and you see the same. Where's that paper? Okay, and it says Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid. I activate, and you breathe in Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid, and you breathe in the word Adonai. The first time, Adonai is very lightly written, and the light of the on the forehead is very slight. But when you breathe out a second time, the whole light goes down the right side of the face, across the right forehead, down the right side of the face, and Adonai is written in green in large letters. Adonai. Now you go to the second sphirot. And you also want to get the angels on your side, because now you can have angels do what you want if you get at least 6 channels of angels. You look here, you have the paper, it says Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid. You breathe into your nostrils, a slight light and a very slight writing of Adonai. You breathe out. This time when you breathe out, you could breathe out only on the first time. And when you breathe out on the first time, the whole left side is filled with light. Left forehead, left side of the face, and it's not just filled with light. It is filled with vibrations that if you put your hand to it, we're talking about Mr. Vibrations there. We're talking about maybe 10,000 angels.
Oy.
Many angels appear. No, I'm serious. This is true. I make
So
a
now
joke.
we've activated the top three.
Okay, we've now activated the top tree. Activated also means liberate, because the feminine presence of God, unfortunately, was taken as a slave. And she volunteered.
She
Glenna.
volunteered.
She volunteered slavery because she wanted to be with her people.
So she left the garden with Adam and
She
Eve.
left the Garden of Eden, yeah. Okay, so now those are the first three. Now we go to the second three, which is first on the right shoulder. Put your right hand like this. You touch your shoulder. Well, first, you have to look at. Maybe now you know it by heart. Shviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid.
And remember, you see a slight vibration and
Yeah, you look at it. And even when you look at it right away, you see a slight vibration, very slight, and a slight light before. Breathe in. When you breathe out one time, now it's only one time. Wow. The light goes all the way down to your knuckles. And Mr. and Mrs. is strong. It is strong. Big time strong.
how about
And
that
Mr.
vibration?
And the vibration. And people, I practiced it before I really got it. I practiced it for 10 days, then I got it.
And how does the Adonai look?
Adonai, big green letters on the shoulder, very big. You'll see it. I don't have to tell you. After you do it 8 to 10 times, you will see it. You will see the letters. If you don't believe me, you could come we're living in COVID. What?
Anyway, so now
Okay,
what you do.
you still
So then you go to the
left arm.
right to the left arm.
Then you go to the left arm. We'll figure out how you can meet me. Then you go to the leg. I trust you. Then you go to the left arm. Keep your left arm out. You look at it. You don't see much light. You don't see much vibration. But you're breathing anyway. And the green letters appear on the shoulder.
What are you going to say though?
You say the magic words, Adonai.
You say the whole thing. Shaviti, Adonai, Lenegdi Tamid.
Yeah, but you don't need to say the whole thing. You could just say Adonai. But if you want to be accurate, you say Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid. And then you breathe out with your mouth. You always have to breathe out with your mouth. You breathe in with your nose, out with your mouth. Whole arm is so hot with light. You go, oh, it's expensive, baby. Watch the glasses. And then the vibration of the left arm is strong. Very strong. Not baby strong. What's going on here? Okay. Then, okay, everything is cool.
Mhm.
So we have 6. We've done 5.
You've done 5. You got one more there.
One more right here. You know the sternum? It's called in Hebrew the most important one, the balance And I'll tell you the Hebrew word. It's called the balance. I'll tell you why. In Greek medicine, it's most important to find perfection. In American medicine, it's most important to find perfection. But in our medicine, in Hebrew medicine, it's most important to find balance. And the Hebrew word for balance is tiferet. Okay. When you look and you don't see a strong vibration, and you don't see a strong light, you don't see anything but when you breathe in with your nose, you'll see the word balance. B-A-L-A-N-C-E. And then you breathe out. And the whole chest area is filled with powerful light. Powerful light and powerful rates of vibration. Powerful. Again, I want to explain to you, those rates of vibration, that light indicates to both of you and you, young lady. Oh, you, it's my wife. Who's this? Oh, it's you. Okay. I'm getting mixed up, but okay, with that computer. You're seeing angels, really. You're seeing and experiencing thousands of angels and what you're experiencing inside, because God lives. Adonai, the feminine God, lives with the channel. She wants to live with the angels. Remember I said she was taken away voluntarily, but still taken away. And you breathe out. When you breathe out, what happens?
The Adonai becomes more strongly affixed to the sternum
The Adonai becomes affixed to the sternum
and clearer and
and
brighter.
clearer and brighter, and the rate of vibration is across here. Very strong and very much light. Then we stop for a second and we say, God, are my channels strong enough to experience you now and to experience all the angels I want? Am I breathing correctly, inside and outside? Am I experiencing the angels, dear Lord? Usually God doesn't answer you, so you whistle. Most times you don't get an answer, sometimes you do. When you get an answer, the answer is yes. It's very amazing, this. This is the most amazing thing you learn about Judaism. Then we go to the seventh. Next time we're here, I'll explain to you the names of these and what they stand for. You go to the seventh.
Which is your left, which is
Oh yeah,
your,
I get mixed
your
up.
hip, which is your hip.
Which is your hip?
Your right hip.
Your right hip. And you look down your right hip, and if you don't see light, if you don't see rate of vibration very strong, you then breathe in with your nose. Nothing happens, so you breathe out with your mouth.
What are we saying?
We're saying Adonai. And the rate of vibration, every time you say Adonai, the rate of vibration is very, very strong. So even though you didn't see light, but you saw rate of vibration, right? Down the hip, down your thigh, it's kind of sexy, down your right leg.
Mhm.
Am I right, Peggy?
Yes,
Okay.
but did you see, you saw Adonai, once you breathed in, you saw it on your hip.
But oh yeah, Adonai only stayed on your hip.
But once you breathed out,
Once you breathe out, Adonai went right down. The leg, what is it called?
the thigh,
Knee,
The thigh and
Thigh.
knee. Where they called together?
thigh, the calf,
The thigh and the
the
calf.
whole leg.
The whole
the
leg.
leg.
The leg. Say you're right. The leg. You know.
Right.
And
didn't-
it's brighter and clearer.
Yes, it is.
And the vibrations, whoo, it's like you got dancing legs.
Yeah, dancing legs. You're right. I like that.
I only wish that on you, my friend, dancing legs.
And it's brighter.
Did you hear?
and then
She's right.
and then you go to the after your legs, your right leg's dancing.
Like my Coke, please.
Your right leg is dancing. Then what happens with your left leg?
Your left leg is doing nothing. See, look at your left leg. He's jealous. What do you want?
Left leg is doing nothing.
There's us.
Okay, there's
Stop
the.
looking the books.
Okay.
Don't get distracted. Left leg,
You
Left
look.
leg.
You look at the left leg and you see,
a little bit of vibration, a little bit of light,
but almost nothing. You know that.
but a little bit. Abyssal.
Abyssal. Abyssal means a little bit in Jewish. Abyssal here, abyssal there, abyssal everywhere.
And so what do? Do you breathe in?
You breathe in and light and you say the word Adonai. And the word Adonai comes right.
Again, we'll show them Adonai. See, look. Adonai.
We'll do it next time on Zoom together.
We're doing this. Anyway, so now
And then we breathe out with the mouth. And
with the
Adonai,
mouth,
Adonai sticks on your hip. But then you do the word. Then you say the word. Then you blow out. You breathe out, not blow out. You breathe out, and you say also Adonai. And what happens is,
two dancing legs.
yeah, Adonai goes all the way down your thigh, all the way down your thigh, and the whole thigh and the whole leg, right to the ankle. They're vibrating.
A regular Fred Astaire.
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't want to
I
boast.
remember.
Okay.
And they're lit up.
Yes, they're lit
They're
up.
vibrating.
Vibrating, lit up, everything is
Michael
amazing.
Jackson like.
That's an
I don't-
8.
What'd you say?
There's 8 already. So where's the 9th one, Rabbi?
No. There's no 8. Watch. The first 3, the first 6 are
No,
here.
because we've done the two hips. So we had 6, then we added the 2
No,
hips. So now we're up to 8.
No, you don't understand. The hips and the whole thigh and leg is one.
Right. But
The
you
hip-
got 2 legs.
2 legs.
That
That's
makes
one.
8.
That makes 8.
So now where we're going?
Now we're going to the belly.
He sewed.
Now we're going to Yesod. I'm sorry.
That's the belly area.
I forgot. Okay. Now we
Foundation.
go to Yesod, which is the belly button area. 9.
This will be 9.
This will be 9. Yes.
Yes.
I know. I said 9.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
So
all agreement.
okay, this is 9. Look at your belly button. But when you look at your belly button and you just look at it, it's nothing. If you look at your belly button and you imagine the word Adonai, and by now you know it's
But
spelled
wait, beforehand, what happened beforehand?
no light.
A little light.
Okay, it's so little that do they see it?
Yes, a little.
No, they don't see it.
Just
Why do you
because-
say that?
Because they do. A little bit of light and a little bit of vibration.
You won't, I promise. A little bit of light, a little bit of
If your belly button was an Audi, you might.
what's an Audi?
Car.
You're talking crazy. Okay, now. But then that's when you breathe in. When you breathe out, then the whole belly button becomes a belt of light. It is so strong. Superman couldn't take you. And I'm not exaggerating. If I'm exaggerating, don't be my friend anymore. I'm not exaggerating. Superman cannot, your belly button becomes a whole belt of light and vibration when you
And where's Adonai?
right across.
In big letters.
Yeah, huge letters. Adonai. A-D-N-I.
Why?
A-D-N-Y.
Or
Okay.
Aleph Dalet Nun Yud.
Aleph Dal. Okay. In Hebrew, Aleph Dal Nun Yud. In English, A-D-N-Y. Big letters across right to left. The last one, strongest, but not the most. Remember, the most sacred is called the
Tiferet.
Balance.
Tiferet.
balance.
Balance.
No,
Tiferet.
Hebrew, who said that?
I did.
Tiferet. You're right. She's right.
I know.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Where
why
is
it's
it?
up there.
The balance is right where your tailbone is.
No, balance was Tiferet.
I mean, to balance is Tiferet.
But now we're at Malchut.
Now
which
we're at Malchut or
is Shekhinah.
Shekhinah, another name of God. They wrestle with each other. There's two gods. But I don't want to
Another
give
story.
another story. Well, why are you doing this to me? I don't want to I don't want to give them the fights.
Anyway, so this is the coccyx area, which is what he's trying to show you, but you can't really tell. So it's the coccyx area, the tailbone.
Right. You look at it, the light is very light. I mean, it's almost nothing. You look at it again, the vibration is almost nothing.
You can take your hand away.
Okay.
And sit up a little.
And sit up. But then, when you look at it and you breathe out,
First, you got to breathe in.
first you breathe in, then you breathe out, and the whole area of the lower back and a little bit of tuchus, a little bit of buns are all lit up and they're vibrating big time.
And they're stamped with Aleph Dalet Nun Yud.
Right. And it's right. It's written. A-D-N, got a Kleenex.
Why?
I got it. Well, you know why.
No. I'm spelling it for you.
Oh.
And now your whole body is vibrating.
Now
It's
your whole,
all resonating with the angels.
now your whole body resonates with the angels. And boy, do you want that's why now he knows why. Now Mary knows why. Now the angels said, don't make humans. See, now you know why. Because the humans were able to show the angels we can be just as powerful as you. We can resonate vibrationally, maybe even better than you, because we can keep on exhaling air. We can also breathe in with our nose many times. And as we do this, we become very, very powerful.
In tune with the angels.
In tune with the
We have
angels.
reached attunement.
We have reached attunement with the angels. Remember last week I spoke about becoming in attunement with the angels.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you become
At one.
at one with the angels. Not only one with God, but at one with the angels.
And so now what can you do?
Miracles. You could do whatever you want.
Can you ask God to send the angels to do healing missions and healing prayers for you?
You can ask God. Doesn't mean God's going to listen to you. You can't pray.
Hopefully.
You cannot pray to the angels. You only can pray to God. But you can ask God to do for you what the angels do. And you can ask God to do for you what the angels do if you breathe out many times with great what's it called?
Kavanah.
Great
Kavanah.
kavanah, right? With great focus.
Focus.
And that's how you get vibrations. And that's how you make your prayer so strong.
Oh, Rabbi, thank you.
And that's what they didn't tell you in rabbi school.
Well, no, they did tell me in rabbi school because you were my teacher and you taught me that. That's right.
And you were
So
my
I
best
was
student.
lucky. In most rabbi schools, no.
You were my
I
best
was
student.
very lucky because I had you as my teacher.
She's right.
All
She
teachers, my friend.
was my best student.
Well, I
Best-
thank you. You're my best teacher always and forever. So Rabbi,
Yeah.
just to sum it all up for everybody, because I was thinking as I was listening to you and doing this with all the 10 sfirot, sometimes we say sfirot is more a Sephardic pronunciation, sfiras is a Ashkenazic, depending on what type of Hebrew you're doing, but in each one is sfirah, and the rabbi talked about all 10. And what he said about activating Adonai, the Hebrew, Shaviti Adonai Lenegli Tamid, I activate Adonai within me always. That's the English translation. It doesn't matter, right, Rabbi, if it's Hebrew
Correct.
or it's English, as long as you have Adonai in there.
Correct. That's what I said before. The key word, you could say it in Hebrew, English, Farsi, and Indian, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Long as you have the Hebrew word, Adonai, that word,
Adonai.
everything powerful.
But while I was listening to you do the meditation and talking about the light and the vibrations and the whistling, and I'm realizing that, remember when the angels came and visited us that white in Hanukkah?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, the 2 times. I mean,
You
one time.
remember
Yes,
that time and
one
then a
time, but
different
two-
time? But
I tell
and
everybody.
you said to me, and I have to ask the Reverend and Mary too, did it feel different to you? Did it? And you and I both said there was like a different smell in the air, that there was almost like a taste that you could just feel it and sense it. And I suddenly realized that when we vibrate at the level of the angels, we're using all of our senses. We're using the feeling, touch, the vibrations, whistling and hearing and seeing the light and smelling how the air changes and is more ionized, and, even tasting that. And it's that we're experiencing the angels because we're getting to the same vibrations of them and we're vibrating at the same level. And that's what it is all about. There's times, and I know that, we talk about, God sending some of our relatives to us that have, passed, sending his angels to come back and be with us, where you'll be sitting there. And I know, Rick, I know it's happened to you too. And I know, Rabbi, we're out of the corner of your eye. You suddenly see something, but you don't see it. Or you're thinking, or you wake up from a dream that it's so vivid, it's just playing right there. And you know that that's God sending an angel, that you're being visited by someone that has passed. I know one of our congregants was so, and I know she would let me share this with all of you. She was very, very, very devoted to her mother. She took care of her mother all the time. And when her mother passed, she was so devastated to the fact, and her mother, who had Alzheimer's and was suffering from all these different medical conditions and was 90 some years old, and she just couldn't be consoled. And she kept saying, I thought it'd be just like Rabbi said, that she would live like Moses to 120. I don't understand. And I don't understand why I can't sense her, why I don't, I asked God to please let me know. She's all right, please send her to me. And I don't know. And I said, well, is anything, what's been happening? Like, is there anything different out of the ordinary? She goes, well, there's just like one thing. She goes, like, I wake up in the morning and all of a sudden I'll see a penny, like laying in my bed next to my pillow. And I've gone into my car and there's a penny. And she goes, I keep finding pennies in the most odd places, and I just don't understand. And I said, pennies, did it mean anything? And I said, tell me something. What was your mom's favorite song? And she goes, oh, that was Pennies from Heaven. And I swear to you, that's true. So if we can vibrate, if we can communicate, the angels are all around us. We just have to be at the same vibrational level as they are. And I'm going to let the Reverend Rick and Mary speak for a little bit. And I'm going to talk about the difference he wrote later in what each one of them are and which angel, which group of angels associated with them. But Rabbi, tell me what
I want to
you
ask you a question
think first.
I love Rick and Mary, so this has a little to do with the question, but not much. Well, I guess, are we allowed to break this sort of like secret on how Jews get their prayers answered so quick? I'm just asking you the question.
It's a little late now.
I'm going to do it again with them even more, so it's not late. I'm just curious, or we never had any prohibition on this.
Rabbi, you told all of us at the very beginning, when you first began teaching your book, and when you taught Peggy in your book, and when you met with me, and when you met with Rick and Mary, you said, and I think that was the title of your first book. I promise I'm not plugging it, but it's a wonderful book filled with meditations. And I'm telling you, this is for everyone. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book. And Peggy, the second book, its title?
Healing with God's love.
Healing with God. Aha! What are we just talking about? Anyways, you said this is for everyone. You wrote with a Catholic therapist because she wanted to come and pray with you. And she asked you, can I come and pray? I'm not Jewish. I'm a woman. And you said, please, please, this is for everyone. But in Orthodox circles, and that was one of the first things you taught, women weren't allowed to study Kabbalah. If you weren't married, you weren't allowed to study Kabbalah.
We had a
You
pet.
had to be fluent in Hebrew and Talmud, Torah, so you knew what you were studying, or you couldn't study Kabbalah and study about healing. Am I right, Rabbi? And my
Yep.
favorite?
Yes, you're right.
My favorite was you can't have any pets. I asked you about that. And I said, what do you mean you can't have any pets? He said, you never know. You might be with someone and they have a dybbuk, a little demon inside. And if you exorcise them, you don't want them going into your pets.
That's
So
right.
they didn't even allow people with pets to study
She's
Kabbalah.
right.
But Rabbi,
Yes.
you made your ministry what we do. I mean, before COVID, and even now after COVID, do we not pray with people on the phone all the time, every week?
Yes. Yes.
And are you not praying with people on Wednesday night?
Oh, that's right. We are having a healing prayer group this Wednesday night, and everyone is invited to join. We would be happy to pray for you. You can send information to either Peggy's personal email or B'nai Shalom
At info@b'naishalom.org.
and we would be happy to have you either Zoom into the prayer group, or if you just wanted us to pray for you, or you just wanted to come and be part of it. We would love to have all of you be part of our healing prayer group. We've done this for so many years because even though we believe that this is for everyone, this isn't some secret that you need, to hide. There's angels around us. We know angels. And the more you study and the more you learn, the more you're able to activate them, and the more you're able to connect and not only bring healing to yourself, but bring healing to other people who you love and cherish.
But this will be our first time doing it via Zoom.
But this will be our first. So bear with us. We're going to do our best. And this is the other thing that so many years ago, because I just wanted to put this caveat out there, when we had our healing prayer group, I don't know if you remember, Rabbi, there was a woman, I think her name was Rebecca, and her sister
In Israel.
was in Israel.
Yes.
You remember? Her sister was in Israel, and her sister wasn't there. Sometimes she would bring a picture of her and we look at the pictures and place it in the art, and we would pray for her sister. And what happened? Her sister got better. So you do not physically have to be in the same place to pray for someone else. In fact, I believe, was it Harvard? And they had contacted you. Harvard or Yale, one of their school of medicines was studying long distance prayer and healing. And they had asked you, but you were too busy at the time, Rabbi, to come speak many years ago about this. So you can pray for people. There are angels around. You just have to remember to ask God to be the one to send the angels to you. And I'm just gonna, you'll forgive me for 1 minute, and then I'm gonna turn it over to the Reverend. I was asked a question by Michael Erickson. He asked a question about the Garden of Eden, and they said Elohim gods. Biblical Hebrew is a very interesting language, and there are a few words within Hebrew that are only found in the plural. There's not one. It's not God versus gods. God, Elohim, is always in the plural. Water, Mayim, is always in the plural. No matter if you have one glass of water or a lot of water, it's one word, pluralized. And the same for face, panim, is always pluralized. So I guess they knew, Rabbi, in the ancient times when God gave us the Torah, that men were two-faced, even back then, because panim is panim. So when they say, we need to expel Adam and Eve and the Shekhinah who left with them, it's not that they will be like gods, it's they will be like God, because the word Elohim is, even though it's in the plural, it means God, one God.
Okay.
All right. So I hope I answered your question, Michael. And can I talk to the Reverend now?
Yeah.
Reverend, Mary.
Yeah. First, let me just thank God for letting me be here today. I always want to give him the recognition, because if it had not been him being on my side, I don't know where I would be. Rabbi, secondly, let me thank you for the meditation. I just want to let everyone know on Zoom that we had a chance to meditate with Rabbi, my wife and I, many times. I guess I can consider myself one of the lucky ones, one of the blessed ones. I've had a chance to pray with him many times, one-on-one. I had a chance to talk with him one-on-one. I had a chance to pray for others and so many times. And in those times, I always learn something new. I'm just like that little baby going for the nipple. It's like he always got something new to bring to the table. And I just want people to understand that's one of the reasons why he said the Lord put on his heart that the Christians and the Jewish faith should have these classes. That's why we wanted to do Psalms, because God gave him a vision that we all, in God's eyes, we're his people, and he wanted us to understand that we can share with each other, with one another, without fighting and without, it's okay to be disagreeable about certain things, but we can do these things and do it in a way that God would be pleased. And I think God is being pleased with us today. I think the angels are watching over us and blessing us each and every day. I remember the night, I never told him this, but I remember the night he called me and my wife, and he said to us, the Lord has put something on my heart, Ron and Firm, and he just started naming off all these people. He says, we're all going to share this, and we wanted to share it with you and Mary. And he says, I want you guys to sit at your dining room table, light a candle. We're going to meditate. You're going to pray at a certain time. You're going to open up the door. And to a Christian, to me, invite the angels in. And to a Christian, I have never experienced anything like that. So you can imagine what was going through my mind. I'm sitting there, we got our front door wide open. It's at night. I think it was a certain time, like 10 o'clock or something, that when we're supposed to do this thing. So I'm sitting at the table, the dog looking out the door, Mary and I looking out the door, and we sitting there looking, and I'm sitting there like, we're supposed to wait on these angels, but at the same time, I'm sitting there like, who else might just walk in, But I said that to say, I want to say to the people today in Zoom that with these meditations, they're very important, because when we meditate that night, me and Mary, every night we did it for a week, and every night it got better and better and better. It didn't happen the first night. It didn't happen the second night. But boy, I think about the fourth night, right? The fourth night, me and Mary were looking at each other, and she was like, did you feel that? Did you feel that? did you feel this? Did you feel that? And I'm sitting there looking at her like, I didn't want to ask you, did you feel anything? Because I didn't want you to think I was crazy, or whatever. But we felt the presence of angels in the house. And we were so blessed by that. And we just, it was just a great feeling to know that when we want to, we can call upon the angels. And it's so important. Rabbi Sharon, because I've asked for some time later on in the class, but you just brought out a great point. I remember playing in the dirt up on a dirt road in Tennessee, where my great uncle and my grandmother's brother lived. Well, my great uncle was my grandmother's brother. And when my grandmother died, I was the oldest grandchild. So I was spoiled rotten. She died when I was like several years old. And I remember I took it so hard, I took it hard at anything because she was she just truly loved me. And when she left, it was just so funny that the cemetery in our church, which I carried to temple people from the bus, from the bus, we went up and we went out to show you where the church was at. And so to get to down on the block where we live, you would have to go by my uncle's and aunt's house, which is up on that road. I'll never forget playing in the dirt. And as I was playing in the dirt, I looked down the road and I saw something coming down the road dressed in white. And when it got up to me real close, I saw the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and it was my grandmother. I didn't get scared, but I looked at her, and all she looked at me and all she said to me was that everything is going to be all right. And I never forgot that. And I just wanted people to know that it is so true that the angels are watching over us. And Rabbi Sharon, I'm glad you shared that story about the lady said about her mother was leaving signs that let her know to indicate that everything was okay. And that this is what it's all about. And I will get into this more or something about this a little bit more later.
Okay. Well, Mary, so the floor is the two of yours right now.
No, I just wanted to say, I wanted to thank Rabbi for the meditation, because we always hear when we're talking to people that you should meditate on the word and meditate on this and that, but it's never shown how you do that and put that specifically in order of meditation. So we learned that meditating has to do with the light of God being shown within you. So if the light of God is shown within you, how can it not be shown outside of you? So I want to thank him for the meditation practice, the practice of meditation, so that we can learn that we have to show the light of God from within and from without. So if the angels are lighting up within us, we as people of God will light up to the world outside. So it's a good thing to learn new things about it, even though we find it strange in a way, but it's a good thing to learn how other people connect with the angels, with God. And so some of those practices can be used in our lives, whether we understand it or not. I remember we pray for people all over when my family was sick and they were in distress. Rabbi prayed for my mom. Rabbi prayed for my daughter, my granddaughter. So we don't have to be in that space with them, because we know God can dispatch angels anywhere. And like Rabbi said, they can get there faster than we can. So it's important that we know that we can call on God to dispatch his angels for healing, for distress, for pain, for all kinds of things, for our lifestyles, for our health, our all the things that we endure in life. We can ask God to dispatch an angel to take care of those things. And I believe that if we learn how to connect with him in that special way, we too can reach God and he'll reach us through an angel. Rabbi called them angels of messengers. Yes, they bring us messages, sometimes in our sleep, sometimes when we're awake, sometimes when we're just walking around. He puts ideas and things in our head, and that is nothing but God. Because we don't come up with these things by ourselves. You know, God gives us everything that we need, and we can't stress that more, you know, any more than when we're in class or when we're talking to people. It is not us that do these things for ourselves. It is always God who puts ideas and messages and sends us things to keep us out of trouble. We don't know. We might be walking into some dangerous element. We don't know. But God will send us a sign that we need to turn back or we need to take a different direction. And if we listen to those signs that he's given us, we will be spared some things, some dangers, some, you know, disasters. We don't know. So it is good for us to listen to our inner spirit because God is telling us what we need to do in life.
Rabbi, can I just ask one thing of you? Many times when I'm sitting at the house with you, I've always asked you about the feminine side of God.
The what?
The feminine.
The feminine.
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 The
Again.
feminine side of God. I'm just saying, not today, but I want you to talk about that a little bit more because in the Christian faith, we do not talk that much about the feminine side of God. And I just think this is what it's all about so people can get an understanding, you know, how.
The Shekinah.
Yeah, so people can get an understanding of that.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I'm just saying, so when you started out today, you was talking about that. And I just think that'd be so important for people to understand why you use the feminine of God and why, you know, why it's so important.
I will do it.
It's
For you guys.
wonderful. And as we said, it doesn't matter of the tradition, even, you know, whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, it doesn't matter. Even Zen Buddhism, which has a different way of looking at the universe. My father-in-law was raised as a Buddhist. So my last name is Chen from China. And my father-in-law told me a story of a time when him and his brother was in the road and a runaway cart was coming at him. And the monk that was beside him looked and prayed, and there was like a rush of wind, and all of a sudden his brother was on the opposite side of the road.
All right. So
even the Buddhists have stories, and that was, you know, a personal story that he told me. And my father was a very brilliant, he was a rocket scientist man, but not really a man of faith, but he believed that there were things that, you know, couldn't be understood. So, Rabbi, would you like me, Reverend Mary, do you have something else to share?
No.
Everybody? Because if not, Rabbi, we can talk about the Sphirot and the different angels associated with them, if that's all right with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, as the Rabbi said, we have many different types of angels, many names for angels in our scriptures, in the Bible itself, in the Torah, in our midrashim, our stories, in the Talmud, our book of laws. And each of them are associated with a different sphira, one of the ones that the Rabbi talked about in Comfort. So we're going to start at the very top with Keter, which translates in English to crown. Now, this Sphirot, this is associated. Oh, Charlie's here. Hey, Char.
Yeah, Charlie's
With-
here. Rick
I don't know
taught him a bad habit.
Rick taught him how to
Reverend.
talk this.
Reverend Mercer taught him.
Reverend Mercer.
Mercer, yes. Oh, yes. All right. So the first is Chayot HaKodesh, the holy animals or the holy beings. These are the angels of enlightenment. They're responsible, they say, for holding up God's throne. Think about, you know, like Ezekiel in the chariot.
Yeah.
They hold up the throne and earth in its proper position in space, and they emanate powerful light, and they're appearing as fiery. The archangel, the one who is associated with them, is Metatron, one who guards. And Metatron is, and we'll talk about this at another time, they say that Metatron was originally Ina, great grandfather of Noah. And he did not die, did he, Rabbi?
No, he
walked
did.
with
Went
God.
up. Went up.
Walked with God, and then he was no more. And so they say that he became the highest of the angels. And his role is the king of the angels and angel of light. He guards the tree of life, but he also writes down everything. He's the scribe of heaven. The second class of angel is associated with Chokhmah, that's wisdom. And it's called Ophanim, which means wheels. And they're wheels because they never sleep. They guard God's throne in heaven, and they're known for their wisdom, which makes sense, Rabbi, because what sphera are they associated with?
Sphira.
Chokhmah. And Raziel, the secret.
Well, explain to
God.
me, Rabbi, explain to me why the Ophanim are associated with Chokhmah. I really don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
Because they are the second highest. Like in the Sfirot, you have Keter, which is Metatron, Chokhmah, which is the first of the Sfirot.
That's what I'm saying. Why isn't it Keter? If the
Keter is, that's Metatron. That's the highest.
That's the highest.
That's
This
the
is
highest.
There is
This is the
Metatron.
second. Yes.
That's why.
Keter,
the second group.
the Chayot,
Thank you.
HaKodesh, the holy ones, first. These are the second order of angels.
Okay.
These are associated with wisdom, and they're the angels who mysteries, who reveal design secret and the wisdom of the Torah. Okay, the third are called Elim, thrones, and these are part of Bina, understanding, and they're angels of courage and understanding, and Sabkiel, and knowledge of God. And these are the ones that help people learn unconditional love for one another,
Okay.
which I guess it makes sense. Wisdom is, it's wisdom. There's a difference between wisdom and knowledge, understanding. Wisdom is the wisdom. It's the
No, you're right. You're not,
understanding of what to do with it.
I want to show you're right. You're completely right.
Okay, explain Chokhmah and Bina. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah. So she's right. Well, on a very simple level, Chokhmah is masculine. Bina is feminine. But here it's hard to explain because Bina means rational knowledge. And you would think women would have intuitive knowledge and not rational knowledge. But Chokhmah is on the right. Bina is on the left. And men were given intuitive knowledge. That's what they're good at. And women were given rational knowledge. But here's something even more interesting. When King Solomon was asked, what do you want? Riches? Do you want fame?
Didn't want to live forever either.
He said, yeah. He said, life forever, eternal life. King Solomon said, I want
Wisdom.
actually,
To,
Chokhmah. Yeah, I want wisdom. I want Chokhmah.
to run the kingdom.
I want wisdom. When I'm the king, I want wisdom so that the world will know that I was the wisest king
King.
ever, not the most knowledgeable king.
Right. See,
Thank you. You're right.
but Rabbi, that's also because I have to admit, when I first was learning the Sfirot, and this is the male, this is the female, I know intuition you would think, but the other one and we're going to get into those two in a minute. I never understood why strength was on the woman's side, but we are strong, and kindness, and that was mercies on the men's side. So, but anyway, so those angels are called the Iralim. Those are the ones that are associated with Bina, and they help people, to understand and to take their knowledge and put it to use and to bring love for one another. Okay. The fourth are called the Chashmalim.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Kesed, kindness, is the right here on this part. And these, their main archangel, it's Sadikel, a righteousness of God. And this is the angel that helps show God's merciful kindness. Rabbi, how many times do you talk about Rabbi Ishmael?
Oh, many, 1,000. I always talk about him.
Always talk about him. That God says, bless me. And what does Rabbi Ishmael?
I want to bless you, he says, with love, with mercy, with compassion. Not instead of blessing you with an expert in justice. I want you to be an expert in compassion, an expert in mercy. May your mercy outweigh your strictness. May your love of mercy outweigh your love for strictness.
Amen for that. Thank you. Okay. So now we go to the left shoulder. This is the fifth. These are the seraphim, which we talked about last time. These are the burning
Fiery ones.
Yeah, the firing ones. And it's strength. And it comes Gevurah. That's the Sphira. And they say they're one of the main angel is Chamuel, one who seeks God. But what's so interesting, what its role is not to get even. Its role is to create peaceful relationships. So maybe it takes the fiery ones to get us to be at peace with one another. Maybe our ancient scholars knew that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It is. That's right. But that the name of their angel, Chamuel, one who seeks God. You're seeking, it shows you, what does God want more than anything else?
Wisdom.
Shalom. What does God want for us?
Grant us peace, thy most precious gift.
Peace. That's right. We say that every Shabbos. All right. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. This one, somebody's asked me about it. So Elohim, which could be God, how you translate it. These are the ones whose commitment to victory over good, over evil. And Haniel, which is joy of God. And I'm sorry, I missed 6. How could you let me miss Tiferet? It's the most important one. Tiferet, the one that's right here, the one that's in our solar plexus 6, Rabbi talked about the most important, because we're all about balance. Which angels does this represent? The Malachim, God's messengers, right there, the balance between, these are angels of beauty and mercy, and they're associated with Tiferet. And which angel is associated? Maybe, Rabbi, that's why we love it so much. This is Raphael, the healing of God. The Malachim, as Rabbi said, it's the Malachim, those are the healing angels. Just like you said, it just tells you, and these are angels of healing, and they're full of compassion. They bring us closer to God, to experience his presence. These are his angels of peace. These are his messengers. Okay. And now, as I said, 7, this is on your right hip. And Netzach, and victory, and joy of God, Haniel, and they're known for, commitment to victory of good. And these are the angels of joy. They direct people seeking fulfillment to God and joy in their life through having a relationship with God. Do you like that? Victory is defined as having a relationship with God. I can see that. I think that's very in, Hebrew and Christians.
Okay, here's another reason why.
Thank you, Rabbi.
victory is described as having a relationship with God because, and this is going to be strange, because victory in Hebrew is netzach.
That's right.
Netzach also means eternity. Netzach, netzachim.
That's right. It makes sense. And I guess that's, that's what we want, a relationship with God. Okay. Now we're on the left hook, and this is Hod, majesty.
Yeah.
And these angels' feet, it's focused on giving glory to God. And who gives glory to God? Who's can be compared? Michael, who is like God. This is the angel of love. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Humility.
That's right. And he's the angel of the people Israel. Each, and Rabbi and I are going to talk about it, and we'll talk about Mary and Reverend, Superintendent Mary, how each nation had their own angels. And there's a beautiful story that it's one of Rabbi and mine favorite about what happens after the crossing of the Red Sea and the angels are celebrating. And we'll talk about that at another time. And Michael leads the Jewish people. Michael's the head of all the angels, and he fights for good and to protect and defend people who love God. And he is the archangel of the people of Israel. Okay. Now, 9, which is Yesod, foundation. As the Rabbi said, these are angels, the cherubim, which makes close, sort of. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Talked about B'nai Elohim, right? Cherubim, 9. All right, the strong ones. These are the angels who help people deal with what they've done wrong and get closer to God. And of course, you need a lot of strength to do it. So which is their archangel? Gabriel, the strength of God. And he's an angel of revelation who God uses to convey important messages to everybody and shares with them what is happening. And the last is called Ishim, persons. Rabbi and I talked about this. We've had some discussions about this in this past, have we not, Rabbi? About the Ishim?
A lot of discussion.
A lot of discussions about do angels have wings or don't they have wings?
Remember?
They talk about, they talk about a lot that, an Ish, man wrestled with Jacob that night before he was to meet his brother. And you'll find that term used a lot of the time in the Bible. And Ish, they translates to men, to persons. But when an angel comes down to earth, appearing before Samson's mother and telling her that she's going to have a child, he appears as a person, an Ish. And they're the closest to human beings. And which makes it Malchut, foundation, which is the last of the 3 wrote. And of course, which they're here to help build God's kingdom here on earth. And their archangel is Sandalphon, which means co-brother. And Sandalphon, like Metatron, was once a human being. They believe that he also was the second person in scriptures who did not die, did not pass away was not taken to its people, was not what happened. Who was he originally? He was Elijah.
Elijah, I want to ask you a question. Elijah, Moses and Elijah are very similar, except Moses, we say we don't know where his burial place is. With Moses. With Elijah, we say he went up on a fiery chariot to God.
That's right.
So the angels took him up.
God came, angels came, they took him up. He does not die. Even Moses, they say there will never be a prophet that arises, and Moses, and God buries Moses himself just like he buries Aaron. But Enoch and Elijah, they become angels according to our scripture. And he's the angel of music and prayer and rules over music in heaven. And he brings people's prayers to God. I think that's why Elijah is with us on every Shabbat, when we say goodbye to Shabbat at the end, why Elijah visits us all when we have a breath and we welcome baby boy into the covenant. And Elijah's with us for Passover, which will be happening before we know it, celebrating our freedom. So each one of the angels of the categories is associated with a different kind. And there's other angels that are mentioned within both Jewish, Hebrew and Christian scripture. You'll hear about the Nephilim, and you'll hear about Satan, and we're going to talk about them in further weeks to come. Is that correct, Rabbi?
Absolutely correct. You know that.
And
Rabbi, that she said that was also my cousin Vinny, right?
Remember my cousin Vinny?
Yeah, that came up in that too, right?
the youths,
That's it.
it's true. I know. We were having our Kabbalistic services yesterday, and we're talking, about the very beginning, and Adam, which is named for Adam. And Peggy said, was that Adam? Because we're talking about the basic building blocks. And if you took Adam and you wrote it out Hebrewly, you'd have Atem, which means Adam, you all. That's the Hebrew for you all,
Wow.
you plural. So, I guess even back then they know that, you all, we're all created, man, as I've said many times, my favorite verse is, Lo tov hayot l'adam levado. It's not good for man to be alone. I'll make him a helpmeet. And I think that's what we've all become, where God didn't intend for any of us to be going this alone. We are a community.
Oh.
That's what we're meant to be. And I think that's maybe why so many of us have been in such need of healing. And I'm going to talk to the rabbi who did this unbelievable painting of what his view of the coronavirus was. Oh my God. It is like so powerful and unbelievable, your painting. But what this has done to us is, besides the physical devastation and the, taking our lives, we are people that weren't meant to be alone. We were meant to be a community. We were meant to be with one another, to, and it's isolated so many of us. And this disease has it hasn't just affected our physical bodies, it's affected our mind, it's affected it's just so devastating in that, thank God we have this way of connecting with one another. I mean, that we're going to try and do the healing prayer group over Zoom is amazing. That we're able to be with people from as far away as California and New York. And even I've had people from all over the world that have. So the human spirit, I think, is always going to find a way to connect, Rabbi. The
I think
angels around us.
what you just said is very, very moving
And true.
and true.
And in the months, the days and the weeks and the months to come, we're going to have to find ways to reconnect with one another. And it's a beautiful, we need hugs. I love hugging. I mean, that's what they call me at the temple, is it not? Rabbi Shari loves to hug everybody.
That's true. We don't.
It is true. It is true. And that I haven't been able to hug my good friends for so long, that this is why we need God to send his angels, to send his healing to all of us. These have been, some dark times, but only if we let him, because yet again, we hear stories of angels in the communities. I remember, Rick and Mary, I've said often, I remember many years ago when I first came to the temple, how at Thanksgiving time, you would collect all these turkeys to make sure that, members in community had something to eat and had Thanksgiving dinner. Rabbi, when you with Stephanie created the food pantry, people didn't have food pantries back when you guys first created it 30, 40 years ago now, did they?
No, they didn't.
At the beginning, it didn't exist, but you recognized. And there's angels out there doing God's work.
Speaking of an angel, this is blows my mind, it'll blow your mind. You know who raised the money for the food pantry?
Oh, I don't know. I know. Who?
Tom was one of the people who raised money.
Tom was, no, I think the leading person in terms of money, not
Well, anyway.
In recent years?
no, beginning, day one. Day one, Stephanie and I went to him. He was the one who went to the authorities, whoever the authorities are, to
I
raise
was
money.
gonna say,
Oh,
no.
to the Chicago, yes, B'nai Shalom
Yeah,
for
he went to
many
Chicago.
years was associated with the Chicago Food Pan of Chicago, Greater Chicago Food Depository,
Which is a wonderful organization.
a wonderful
Always been
organization, especially at this time. And Reverend, I know he won't tell anybody, but this man, no matter what's going on with his health, I know he's out there shoveling and helping people and doing for them. And there are people, and Rabbi, I'm not gonna embarrass you, but I know how many people you and Peggy have helped over the years when people didn't have a place to turn to, and they would come to you, and you never once turned them down. And that's right. In the Glassenberg Food Pantry, I know I'm sure Dr. Myron is out there, that we've been helping people, and we pray for the day when we'll be able to open up the food pantry again and help people once more within the communities. There are angels out there, and all of you have it within yourselves to be angels. And as Rabbi always says, if you cast your bread upon the water, it comes back to you tenfold. And I know Reverend and Superintendent Mary have said the same things. If ever there was a time in our lives when we needed angels, now is the time. But you got to be vibrating, as the rabbi said. You got to be elevating your soul to that next level so that you can experience. And you also elevate your soul by doing good deeds.
Amen.
And by caring for others.
Rep-
So a little
Reverend?
amen for that, Rev.
Amen.
Amen.
So if anybody wants more information about the Healing Prayer Group, as I know a couple of people have sent us messages, Peggy, please, the email that one of Peggy's an angel, because God knows we couldn't do any of this without her and her sending out everything to everyone. If you want to be prayed for, if you want to be part of the Healing Prayer Group, please, please just email Peggy at this link. Okay. All right. Rabbi, you want to say goodbye and God bless to everybody? And we can take
Bye. God bless everyone.
God bless.
Bye.
Shalom uvracha. Peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you, Kathy, for being part of this.
Hey,
Thank
no.
you, Reverend and Mary.
Rabbi
you,
Shari,
Rabbi.
Rabbi Shari. You
And
know,
let your light shine.
what do you say?
Let that light shine.
Let that light shine.
All right.
Thank you.
God bless everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi Shari.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Rabbi.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you
Bye.
for your eloquent conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we have close. I didn't close.